How you doing? Yeah, so look, I didn't know a whole lot about rabbit and lion before. I remember once talking to rabbit back on the old panel. Never talked to lion at all. So I've gotten a lot more knowledge since she died. And I think I've been gaining some real insight lately. I know back at the beginning, before there was any kind of official reports and stuff, you had people like I think Cliff was in on that bunch. There was some guy named Sean who was running his mouth a lot, and people were talking about things like, the zodiac. It was like, well, Rabbit was a Gemini and he was a Cancer, so of course he killed her. Yeah, you know, real in-depth stuff like that. In fact, I remember talking to Cliff the one time when the subject came up of her, and I said, "Well, so far the police have not arrested him or anything." And he was like, "Oh, and you trust the police?" Like, and the way he talked was like, for some reason, the police would be collude with him. So from early on, people have been talking about this, and I guess some curiosity would be um, expected when somebody in the community dies. And lately, well, ever since Rabbit got arrested on that stupid stalking warrant, because some people are big old babies and have to take their hurt feelings to the law. But anyway, there's been a lot of talk lately, and you got people that aren't talking so much about the stalking thing and warrants and that, and they're back on the whole lion one thing. And they're acting like they've now got, inside scoops. You know, I saw a bit of Chris the other day, who for some reason is cyber stalking who he thinks secret girl is. And which, for somebody who's always getting offended by supposed stalking, Chris, that's a little weird. Uh, and you got him and GS. Chris, Chris having that ridiculous conversation about, oh, well, the angles are saying this and that, and you couldn't possibly have done it yourself. Yeah, fuck you, Mr. Expert on everything. And like I said, GS is native. And of course, GS was totally behind Rabbit until, as inevitably happens with every nebulous relationship GS has, when the relationship ended, all of a sudden everything he supported about Rabbit was totally turned around 180 degrees. No new evidence. It's just, oh, now this looks suspicious and that. And both of them are going on and on. GS the other night, last night, whenever it was, he had Rabbit's ex-girlfriend slash baby mama on, who hasn't seen Rabbit in 8 years, and she's supposedly a reliable witness on what Rabbit is like as a person. And hey, Maybe she is, but on the other hand, ex-girlfriend, you know, who knows what knives she might have sharpening in the drawer. But anyway, and of course you got other people. God, for for a few days there, I couldn't hardly look around YouTube without seeing somebody talking about it, and without seeing Secret being the star of every show she could get on. And God, you even got people like that moron Direct D chiming in. And so anyway, the this is supposed to be about the truth that I have discovered. And the truth is this, and I believe I am stealing this word from Coded. I mean, I'm sure he didn't make it up, but I heard him say it, grief grifting. That's what the fuck this is. I really think Chris and GS thought, oh, this gets some views, which gets them money. It gets them people coming in and doing super chats. And you got other people who it's just getting them attention because they need attention. So all I can say is to all of you, I don't know if there is an afterlife. I don't know what it's like. I mean, if you want definitive answers on things like that, go to Todd. He seems to know theology backward and forward, kind of like Satan. Anyway, but if there is an afterlife, I hope, I hope there's a place where you people will all burn in hell for dragging this poor woman's corpse all over the fucking internet and bothering her family. The hell is wrong with you all? That's it. Have a nice day. I'm not doing a roll call, but thanks everybody who came in. I didn't read any comments, so I have no idea what you have to say. See you later. By the way, thanks for the few islands of sanity that are still out there in our corner of YouTube.